we are just gearing up for playoffs when it comes to NBA, when it comes to the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NHL. All sorts of things going on. Super excited about all of them. But let's lean back towards the NBA. We just talked NHL. Let's lean back towards the NBA. What are your bold predictions for this NBA playoffs? 877-881-1053. That's the Frankel and Frankel injury attorney text line. And then also, this is the last time that at least I know that I'm going to be on before the first round of the playoffs starts. I know you probably have one more show Saturday, I'm guessing.
Saturday.
But if you want to get in your predictions for the Mavs as well, go ahead and do that. 877-881-1053. Do you have anything that you look around the NBA playoffs, you're like, I'm calling that one, putting in my call?
See, can I be transparent?
No.
Okay, I won't be.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
In my head, it seems bold, but then by the time we get to the air, I'm like, is it really that bold? Or are people also thinking the same? Like, am I just doing the educated guess route, or am I like really going bold? Like, Denver's going to lose in 4. That's like extra bold. But like,
let's just leave it. Let me pull back the bold. Strong predictions. Like, I don't know. We don't have to go bold because then we're going to places where we're maybe giving predictions we don't believe just to spice it up.
What's our boy Maurice Jones-Drew? I'll never forget.
Maurice Jones-Drew. He goes hard in the paint when he gets these predictions in the NFL. He's like, they're gonna throw for 900 collective. I'm like, dog, this is not a Texas Tech game. What is wrong with you right now?
It was Houston versus like Jacksonville or something. And he was like 9. That was crazy. Okay. Let me look at Denver. Actually, I want to say that one. Here's my first bold prediction. The Phoenix Suns, who have struggled all season with inconsistency, beat the Minnesota Timberwolves in 6 games. Bad matchup for the Timberwolves. Cat coming off an injury. I don't think they got enough scoring. I think that the Suns are actually kind of clicking. And funny enough, if you look at the numbers, the Suns' defense has been their best part of their game, not their offense. Still got good scores.
That's interesting. I have not thought about that.
But their defensive rating has been like in the top 10 the last month. Like you really don't even see it with your eyeballs either. You just look at the numbers and you're like, oh, they've been playing pretty good half-court defense. So I got the Suns winning that series in 6 and taking down the number 3 Minnesota T-Wolves.
That's really interesting. I like what you're doing there. The tough part about it for me is the high watermark for the Suns is really good to the point where I might say that they're better than the Timberwolves. Although I think Cat is making it back in the series. Yeah. I think he played
the last game,
the last game as well. So that gives me a little hope for them. However, my problem with the Suns is they're not consistent.
Not at all. That's why I think there'll be games they get blown out.
Right. And my thing about it is the question about, do they have a point guard all season? Felt like it was nonsense, but because they didn't get enough playing time with their stars together, it did not feel like they got into the mode of getting into your actions consistently. And so with that being the case, there's times where they get stagnant and the ball doesn't snap around. And I think that if there's a team that's going to force them to do that even more, it's going to be the Timberwolves. I don't know that I can go so far as to say that the Suns get over, but I don't think that that's a completely impossible. But I don't feel so confident about that one if we're looking for an upset.
What's your next take/prediction?
It's not a bold one. I feel bad because it's not a bold one, but the Sixers are definitely beating the Knicks. And you know what? I'll make it bold. The Sixers are going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say Sixers to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Is that bold, though? Are we even being bold? It's like,
it's tough.
They're so good.
They're so good. They fell because Joel wasn't playing. I think what makes it bold is that Joel came back. He's played, 6 games since?
And he's looked awesome in every
And he's looked awesome, but the thing about it is he's looked winded.
Yeah.
And it's a long stretch to get you to the Eastern Conference Finals. There's a lot of basketball to be played, and I'm willing to look up around all of that and say he will still get it done. The Knicks are a good team, but you know what? Maybe we make this bolder by doing this. Sixers in 5.
Ooh, now there we go.
Sixers in 5.
Now we're getting bold.
I think they can get right past. They can run right through the Knicks.
I like that. And you know what? I'm going to double up with you. The Indiana Pacers beat the Milwaukee Bucks, and Bucks go home in round 1 after the Damian Lillard trade.
Are we making it real spicy by putting a number on it? No, that's fine. Don't feel like you have to get there. Okay,
I think
you're going all the
still. I don't see them just blazing by them. But I think this is a thing where, what have we said all year with the Bucks? They don't play great defense. And who torches bad defenses and get up and down the court and gets a bunch of shots up and plays really well in transition? Rick Carlisle and the Indiana Pacers. I think they beat them.
Yeah, and that defense has come along as you were pointing to in some ways. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think the Bucks have been cohesive enough. I think that's actually a good look.
So you're going to have the number 3 seed and the number 2 seed going out in the first round,
which is wild. But I mean, if you take those seeds off and you just look at the teams,
yeah,
or relatively, I think midway through the season, I'll even put it. If you looked at it, I was looking at it. There's only 2 teams in the West or in the East that I really care about. Maybe 3 with the Bucks. And what we're talking about is those same 2 teams, the Celtics and the Sixers, and then everybody else, whatever.
Yeah,
that's that. I mean, I feel like I'm still in that same place. This is a little spicy from the 2-1-4. Actually, a lot spicy. 2-1-4. Lakers are over the Nuggets. Lakers are going to beat the Nuggets.
I'm seeing a lot more hype behind this, and I talked about it in Crosstalk. I could see a world where they do it because think about. I'll keep it nice and short.
Yeah.
Western Conference Finals, they played winded, old, playing a really good Denver team. This might be the best time to catch them. You're healthy, relatively.
Yeah.
You're going to be rested, sort of like you're not like you've gone through 3 or 4 series, or 2 or 3 series, I should say. You're playing them early. This might be your best shot at them.
Yeah, and I think also I think this is what we've seen this year is a more sustainable version of usage for LeBron James compared to last season, oddly enough. And I think that if I go look at the usage number, it might be the same or better, but I feel like they have a better distribution to where it's not LeBron, especially late in the season where it felt like they were in the playoffs for a month or 2 because they were fighting to get themselves back in that place. It hasn't quite been that for them.
D'Lo's been a godsend.
And D'Lo's been really good. Austin Reeves has been really solid. You had guys that can take some of the load off of LeBron, so it hasn't been as much of a heap on him individually. The defense has been better for them. The offense this year has been a lot better as well, quiet as it's kept down the stretch. This Lakers team is playing really good basketball. The reason why I don't want to go all the way there is and it's something that is not, I typically try and keep it to the X's and O's of this, but this is somewhat beyond that, and I've talked about it with you before. I've seen it with the Nuggets where they have that championship switch. And it's not something that I can explain really well, but you could just see it within themselves that they can decide that a game is over, that they're going to turn it up to another level at times. And that matters. I don't know how I can explain it, but that does matter. And I feel like that will keep them ahead of this. But maybe we get spicy by saying that this is a long series as opposed to a quick one.
Yes, I would agree. I think we can both agree, especially of a long series, that Cleveland and Orlando's going 7. It'll be like 7 games of ugly, low-scoring basketball. Like nobody gets over 100 points. Like the over/under is going to be at 200 total points, and both teams are going to keep hitting the under.
Oh, do we wait? Which series are you talking about?
Orlando versus the Cavs.
Yeah. I think that one might be the spicy one. Like let's go back to this and just go back to go back to 90s basketball where we get all right. I'll go this far. We will get a winner that scores below 90 in the first game.
Yeah,
that's where I'm going to go.
I agree.
That's my spicy playoff prediction for that Cavaliers Magic series.
That NBA TV type series.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Every year you get one of these series that's going to be on NBA TV because there's just not enough place to put all these games. And it's usually just like, where do we know we're not going to get a lot of ratings, so we'll just stash it on NBA TV?
I mean, they're 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Those are their time slots.
Are they NBA TV, all of them?
I think they're actually the first ones at ESPN, funny enough.
Why are we doing that to the folks? I guess like, hey, look the Magic. They play great defense, but you don't want to watch them. We got people saying that the Celtics choke in the second round. Celtics don't choke and not get into the Eastern Conference Finals.
It's Celtics. You know who they're going to play in the second? They're going to play the winner of Cleveland Orlando. That's who they play in the second.
Yeah, ain't none of them strapping up the Celtics.
I think the Celtics sweep whoever is in. Don't care. They're
in the 8 seed?
Whoever it is, I think they sweep them in 4 games.
I agree.
And I think the Cavs or Orlando, they beat them in 5.
I'm willing to go there too.
Right.
I'm like, the problem with the Celtics, we've seen them be unserious and not really attack teams, but it's hard to overstate just how dominant they were this year.
Yeah.
They have so many wins by 30, 40, 50 points over the course of the season. I think also they have a little bit more than just the jump shooting, but I think at the high, my question is at the high end of it, right? Once we get to the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, once we get to the NBA Finals, do they trick off a game here or there because the shooting isn't going down, or because Jason Tatum does that thing where he's not super aggressive getting downhill, and sometimes he goes and he fades away from layups and things like that? Those are the things that I'm concerned about with the Celtics. The way that the East is built right now, I don't think they have too many issues in the first or second round.
The Celtics have a road to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're going to be playing the Philadelphia 76ers. That game is going to go 7 games. The Sixers will win. The Sixers will be in the NBA Finals. The Knicks did a bad job of winning that last game in overtime to get the 2 seed because they could have been playing the Pacers instead. But whatever. The Denver Nuggets will beat the Lakers, be in the Western Conference Finals. They will match up against your Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks will win in 7.
Oh wow.
Western
Okay.
Conference Finals.
Can I bring you, because I don't think we've brought enough spicy necessarily, so I'm going to outsource some of this to Colin Cowherd,
Please.
Fox Sports. He has some bold predictions. Number one, I think, is really bold. He says that the Thunder only win one series, which I guess actually isn't
It's true.
as bold.
It's true. It's bold. It's right. Because they're going to lose to the Mavs in the next series. Like 100%. Like, I'd put money on it right now. Give me some money, guys. Tolos, and I will. Come on. The Thunder are not winning more than one series, Reggie.
Okay. I can see it. I can absolutely see that. He goes, he's with you on Suns beating the Timberwolves in the first round. This is where he gets a little spicy. He says, oh, no, not that spicy. He says the Clippers will unravel versus the Mavericks. I thought he said Clippers will unravel the Mavericks. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Someone on the text line, though, said it's a spicy one, Clippers in 7 there. I think that's a 6 or 7 game series.
We're not entertaining Clippers in 7.
I don't know that I'm willing to go to that place. Lakers, and they said that he says that the Knicks will flame out, which I think is beyond the place.
They're playing Philly. It's got a bad match.
I guess if I say they're in 5, is that not a flame out? So yeah. All right. I think we're in line with all of those things. How are you feeling about this Mavs Clippers series? Let's lean into that.
I think it's such an exciting one for both fan bases. It's the third time. This is the trilogy of the two. Both teams look a lot different. You got James Harden and Westbrook for the Clippers. You got PJ Washington, Kyrie, Gafford, and the gang for the Dallas Mavericks. No more Trey Burke and Boban and little young Jalen Brunson playing all these big minutes. I think it's going to be a really fun one to watch, like regardless of the outcome. I think it's just going to be great basketball. I'm really excited for this one. I think this has 6 or 7 written all over.
100%. That's where I feel. I'm still leaning towards the Mavs in 6 or 7.
Yep.
I haven't decided which one yet, especially with the continued questions around Kawhi Leonard's health.
Kawhi doesn't play his Mavs in 5. Kawhi doesn't play his Mavs
in the entirety of the series.
Yes. If he doesn't play a game, it's Mavs in 5. If he does, I think it's Mavs 6, 7, like you said.
So I'm interested in seeing where this goes, and we will begin to start seeing the playoffs on Saturday. Real quick before we go, 817 says, Reggie, aren't you the man who doesn't believe in momentum, but you believe in the switch for the playoffs? LOL. Yes, and I don't think that that's insane. And what I'm saying when I say the switch, and I guess I should be more direct in what I'm saying, is they have the capability of playing to a different level. And that I don't believe that that's some like ephemeral thing. Like that's tangible. It's just they have another gear that they can get to because they're that good of a team.
That they don't switch on in the regular season to conserve themselves.
And during the regular season, they'll do this sometimes where they'll see themselves kind of not playing at their highest level, and then they can rev the car up to 100%. Like they can get to 100% of their capability because they have an understanding of the best way to play. They have an interconnectedness because this team has played together a lot. Then they have high level players that when the moment requires it can do the big ticket things. We've seen Jamal Murray knock down big time shots. We've seen Nikola Jokic knock down shots that are completely contested in ways that don't make any sense. Like those are the things that I'm ultimately talking about when I use the words flip the switch. It's not something that is entirely outside of the realm of logic. The point I'm just saying is they more consistently than any other team can put themselves when they decide to put their mind to it, they go, okay, we are going to play at the highest level possible of basketball, and they can do that fairly consistently. And that's something that you don't see with every team. You see that more often than not with championship caliber teams.
Because we're not going to be able to hear from you before the playoffs start, I need you to put it on the books. Who is Western and Eastern Conference Finals and who's winning it? Because you can't be changing the answers once the games have started. Be like, I need to hear it on the books. Who is it? I gave you mine.
I don't have
Mavs Sixers in the finals.
I don't have a crystal ball, man. I don't
Give me the crystal ball. Come on. Who is it going to be, Reggie?
All right. I know in the East, I'm still going with the Celtics.
Celtics all the way. Okay. Who are they playing in the conference finals?
Yeah, man. You're not going to move me on my block. I'm going with the Nuggets. It's not incredible. It's 1 versus 2. It's not spicy, but it is the place that I go to.
Who are the Nuggets playing in the conference finals?
That is a fun one.
Mavs, Clippers, Thunder, or the 8 seed?
This thing is set up to where the Mavs absolutely could. So I'm just going to go Mavs. I'm not going to think too much about it.
And then Sixers in the East playing the Celtics?
There you go.
We're in the same 4.